the Premier said I think she regrets it. She's seen more of me than her husband. I'm pleased.
Hello, everyone. We're continuing to follow Mark Carney turning Canada into a militarized petrostate subservient to the U.S. empire, currently led by a fascist pedophile. Totally cool, totally normal.
I'm pleased.
He serves capital first and foremost, and at the bottom of his list is the Canadian working class.
That's why we've cut taxes on incomes, on housing, on gas, and on investment. That's why we've introduced the groceries and essential benefit, up to $1,890 per family, and that's why we will continue with a relentless focus on affordability, whether it's competition in broadband or building affordable electricity.
World banker elite nonsense. That doesn't help lower grocery prices. It doesn't immediately lower your rent. It doesn't lower your utilities. None of it. All the while, he's implementing mass austerity. Yay! Apparently, they've got the right plan, though.
We have the right plan across those major projects across affordable housing to build Canada strong.
It's already been 16 months of Mark Carney as Prime Minister. The reality is, in Mark Carney's vision, you will own nothing. Your material conditions and the material conditions of your loved ones and your neighbors will keep degrading, while this world banker elite and his oligarch buddies plunder Canada's wealth.
But the scale of the transformation is so large that it means some of the biggest payoffs are going to take some time.
Things suck. They'll stay sucky for the foreseeable future. Okay, got it. Thank you, Mark.
And that's where we're also focused on giving Canadians a boost today and a bridge to a better tomorrow.
The boost being pitiful tax credits and shit like the groceries benefit added up to like less than $3,000 for a family of four. Meanwhile, Canadians are paying more than 50% of their income on rent and another 30% on groceries. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Canadians are sleeping on the streets. Enjoy that boost and bridge, Canadians. You're gonna need it.
Canadians have been under great pressure since COVID from overall inflation, price of groceries, housing costs, price most recently because of the war in Iran, price of energy.
A war you support, Mark.
But moving to this position where that's been taken off the table, yes, that's worth it.
It's worth it to support a war of aggression and to make you pay higher gas prices while supporting U.S. crimes against humanity. Disgusting. Also, Carney's straight up a collaborator with the fascist apartheid state Israel, currently committing genocide, engaged in ongoing wars of aggression. Mark should be in the Hague, okay? Until then, he's gonna keep yapping, spewing corporatist garbage, nonsense, while the working class in Canada literally burns to the ground. So the trade war is heating up.
As government orders Canada's telecom regulator to review a fee hike for US streaming giants like Netflix.
A concession to the US. Another one.
No secret that the USTR had identified this as an irritant, but it is a statement that they will indeed have to pay less.
How should Canadians interpret that decision?
We made that decision with a focus on affordability.
Somehow concessions to Donald Trump are an affordability measure, cutting taxes for giant U.S. tech companies who are in the pockets of Donald Trump. Cutting their taxes is affordability measures for Canadians. This is his marketing spin on concessions to the U.S. amidst a trade war. This concession is just the latest in the long line of previous concessions given to the fascist
Your government has capitulated on revenue splitting for Gordie Howe Bridge, digital service tax, and removing funding for American streamers.
Canada's not getting any credit for the concessions, but Mark Carney's just going to keep giving them. Liberals are hiding from their previous concession, the Gordie Howe Bridge fiasco. They're avoiding transparency.
The bridge, first off, the bridge is open. An agreement that's less than 5% of that amount. Put that in perspective. That's being pragmatic and moving forward.
It was only a small bean concession. Carney wants you to believe that conceding to the fascist pedophile is pragmatic.
That's being pragmatic and moving forward.
This is appeasement garbage.
Now, we're engaged with discussions, working to have a more stable relationship trading relationship with the U.S.
Stability is when you appease the fascists in order to serve the interests of capital, right? We're conceding to Germany because we want to build stability.
There will be peace. It's the greatest diplomatic triumph of modern time.
He'll concede as much of Canada's leverage as possible just to keep the fascist stable. It's f***ing outrageous. This is a decrepit with dementia. His brains are leaking out of his ear, and Carney's like, yeah, we gotta concede to him to build stability for some deal that is not happening and isn't real because you cannot trust a fascist Life lesson for you, Mark Carney. Canada exports around 4 million barrels of oil per day to the United States. And the United States cannot afford to not import that oil. They need their refineries to keep running. It is Canada's single largest point of leverage against the United States empire. He doesn't see the value in using energy as leverage.
And so when you're supplier of a key commodity, you got to think really hard about not supplying. I don't see the value of doing. I mean, I can understand conceptually, but I don't see the value of it.
Carney is preemptively conceding Canada's biggest point of leverage. It's insane. Add an export tax, make the U.S. importers pay a higher price, and guess what? They will.
Being a reliable supplier is important. Canadians are reliable. Canadians can be trusted. We have many exports and commodities. One of the biggest commodities, arguably the best, is trust. People trust us.
What trust are you talking about? Oh, Germany really trusts us. We don't want to anger them.
The German Führer and Chancellor and the British Prime Minister are agreed in recognizing that the question of Anglo-German relations is of the first importance.
You're in a trade war. You have your hand of all your cards. The opponent, the U.S., just keeps asking, give me that card. And you go, okay, this is more stable. Give me the next one. Okay, we're building trust here. Give me another and another. And then you've got Canada's best card, and you're like, I'm not going to use that this game.
I don't see the value of doing. I mean, I can understand conceptually, but I don't see the value of it.
That's called losing a trade war. This isn't what Canadians voted for. This isn't what Canadians want.
And we're stronger than we were when this started.
After a trail of consecutive concessions to Donald Trump, somehow is in a stronger position. Nonsense.
Even though we've got a lot more to do, we're in a stronger position today than when the trade war began.
Bullshit. According to who? Wealth inequality is going up, groceries are more expensive, gas prices are way up.
And we're just getting started.
Material conditions are worsening, and this world banker elite's saying, no, we're in a stronger position. Trust me. He's so out of touch with working class Canadians. He's just living on a different planet. But don't worry, Canadians.
Foreign direct investment in Canada is at its highest level in 2 decades and running at twice the rate of our nearest G7 competitor.
The FDI is so good, so we're so much stronger.
Our FDI is twice the rate of our nearest competitor. That's the United States.
Look, how does the United Arab Emirates trying to build AI garbage in Canada help you with your day-to-day? It obviously doesn't address the immediate material needs of Canadians. So he's just LARPing as the CEO of Canada. Investments are up. It means everything's good. If you like my content and want to hear more, please like and subscribe to my channel.
In an increasingly divided and dangerous world, our unity is our greatest strength.
Now, I can't take Mark Carney seriously talking about division and danger while he's flirting with the arch bully of Alberta's queer kids.
She's seen more of me than her husband. I'm pleased.
Speaking of danger, Prime Minister Mark Carney is supportive of U.S. wars of aggression, imperialism, and genocide against Palestinians. These are probably the most dangerous and divisive things one could possibly do.
Canada supports the United States acting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, and we reaffirm Israel's right to defend itself.
The U.S. empire and Israel are the two biggest terror states on the planet by far, not even close. And Mark Carney loves supporting both of them, materially and politically. I can't think of something more dangerous. In any press conference, he's got to do lip service to the First Nations across Canada.
We acknowledge that Red Deer is situated on the traditional and current lands of Treaty 6 First Nations.
We'll build inclusively with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis.
Mark Carney has destroyed any notion of free, prior, and informed consent. In his own speech, he talks about fast-tracking nation-building projects.
More than 25 nation-building initiatives have been submitted to the Major Projects Office, which is job is to fast-track them,
giving the government a complete veto over any First Nations, which is blatantly illegal under UNDRIP, violating their rights. It's not austerity and privatization that's worsening public services. No, it's the immigrants.
And Red Deer, like so many communities across Alberta, has experienced the pressures that come from the kind of rapid population growth that we've seen over the last 5 years. Growth has strained public services and infrastructure all over the province.
Such a clear example of shifting blame away from government failures and laying it at the feet of immigrants. Buddy, you are defunding public services. This is a grift. Carney goes on what I can only describe as an anti-immigrant tirade, getting things under control.
We have taken back control of immigration, where immigration had been far too high. We'd lost control of levels and foreign students and temporary workers. The level of asylum seekers is down a third. Temporary foreign workers down by a half. Foreign students down by 2/3. So we've taken control. We're on top of the numbers.
As if immigrants pose a national security threat and are stealing from real Canadians. Shut the fuck up. What we need to get under control is capitalism. This economic system that, while it has brought some benefits and was an upgrade over feudal slavery societies, it's not working. It's not working. So capitalism's got to go bye-bye. In order to distract from that complete failure of capitalism, you've got these two hate mongers pinning the blame on different groups. It's immigrants' faults. According to Smith and Carney here,
to advance an oil pipeline to the West Coast. This will unlock new markets and support lasting prosperity in Alberta and beyond.
Pipeline to the West Coast will bring prosperity to Alberta and everywhere. We need it. That pipeline is a blatant crime against the climate and future generations, so they can hoard more resources while the climate collapses. And they're accelerating the climate collapse. Congratulations, Canada. There's your prosperity. Eat it.
The Associated Pathways Carbon Capture Initiative will make Alberta's oil some of the lowest in carbon intensity in the world.
Carbon capture is just a marketing distraction to justify crimes against the climate. Do not fall for this nonsense.
Built once again on Albertan drive and ingenuity, just as Alberta did with the oil sands when I was growing up here.
Carney's nostalgia over what is now obsolete technology, it's irrelevant to the material reality of Carney's criminal climate policies. They are genuinely trying to pitch this pipeline around the idea of a decarbonized barrel of oil.
The Pathways project that would decarbonize the production of their bitumen.
The interest is in, as mentioned in the press release, decarbonized barrels. So
Mark Carney and Danielle Smith essentially have a bowl of shit that they want Canadians to eat, okay? And then they come along and sprinkle magic fairy dust all over it. Here you go. This is a de-pooped bowl of shit that you have to eat.
Decarbonized barrels. So
you can't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, half the country is on fire. Resources are thin. People losing everything. Entire communities destroyed. First Nations gone.
Charred and unrecognizable. This is the first look at Namagusa-Segagan, also known as Collins First Nation, decimated by a wildfire.
Houses are actively on fire, and he does his lip service to the firefighters who are trying their best with the limited resources that they have.
the wildfire season that we're facing across Canada, it's another challenging season, and on behalf of everyone here and all Canadians, I want to recognize the heroism of our firefighters, our emergency crews.
He does lip service to them while saying we're building a million-barrel-a-day pipeline to accelerate climate collapse. Enjoy! Carney and Smith both bend over backwards for fascism. Carney is the avatar for liberalism, and he's bending the knee to fascists in order to protect the interests of capital. Where have I heard this one before? How does that one end again?
Над Берлином взвелось знамя победы.
Capitalist, parasitic criminals like Carney and Smith will not improve material conditions of working-class Canadians. And until the working class in Canada gains political power and control of the state, these monsters will continue to plunder and exploit and hoard wealth while the world literally burns to ash.
I'm pleased.
So, yeah, Mark Carney, Daniel Smith. Until next time, take care, peace and love, free Palestine, bye-bye.